Oh, howdy there. Today we're going to be doing the thing that I said we were going to do in my last video, and we're going to be using our Kokoichi Banya instant curry to make a Japanese Tonkatsu Curry Pizza. Hopefully it's as good as it sounds. So let's head over to the kitchen and we'll get started. The first thing we're going to do is set our air fryer to 375 degrees for 20 minutes. Next up, we're going to get the breading for our tonkatsu ready to go. We're going to start with some panko breadcrumbs. Then we're going to add some Cajun seasoning. Next up, we're going to add a little bit of pepper. Then a little bit of paprika. Then we're going to add enough garlic powder to create a cloud above the mixing bowl. Then finally, we're going to add some MSG to really bring home that flavor. After mixing everything up, what we're going to do now is we're going to crack 3 eggs into a bowl and mix those as well. After that, you're going to take your thin cut pork chops and put them in the breading, then put them in the egg, and then back into the breading. I've done quite a bit of experimenting with this recipe, and I found that the thin cut work a whole lot better than any other kind of pork chops. Just make sure you get both sides nice and coated before throwing it in the air fryer and hitting it with this avocado oil spray. For our pizza, we're going to be using 2 pork chops. After you've hit both of them with the spray, it's time to go into the air fryer. If you watched my Japan travelogue, you know how cool Google Translate's camera function is, so we're going to use it to learn how to make our curry. Essentially, you're going to put a pot of water on the stove and let it boil. After the 10-minute mark, we're going to open up the air fryer and flip over our tonkatsu so we can cook the other side evenly. As you can see, I almost forgot to use the oil spray on the underside. That is a very important thing to do if you want this to turn out properly. Now that our water is boiling, we're going to open up the box and put the packet into the water, making sure that the entire thing is covered. If you time this right, you'll actually be able to use the timer on the air fryer to coincide with the boiling time, so everything will finish at the same time. Now that everything is done, we're going to cut up our tonkatsu, small enough that it can be spread evenly over the entire pizza. Before we do that, however, we're going to put our curry into a bowl so we can add our extra special ingredient to give it that little bit of spice that makes it so much better. I really do wish YouTube came with a smell-o-vision function so that everybody watching could experience the incredible scent of this combination. Now we're going to add just a little bit of kick in the form of Carolina Reaper powder. This stuff does tend to come out a little fast, so always be careful not to use too much of it. After giving that a good stir and cutting up our tonkatsu, it's time to spread the curry over our pizza crust. I went with a pre-made pizza crust because I'm lazy and didn't want to go through the process of making my own, but you are more than welcome to do so if you try to follow this recipe at home. Before adding anything else, we'll add a base layer of cheese just to get things started. Once our base layer is down, we're going to start putting our tonkatsu bits all over the pizza. If any of the breading does fall off, that's totally fine, as you can set those aside and enjoy them on their own. Now it's time to put the rest of our cheese on, followed by adding a little bit more curry to the edges just to make sure that we don't have too much exposed crust. Once everything is ready to go, we're going to put it into our pizza griddle. If you don't have one of these, it's totally fine, as you can just use an oven at 450 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. In our pizza griddle, we're going to set a timer for 20 minutes and then check on it periodically throughout the cooking process. About halfway through, I decided to add the rest of the bag of cheese because fucking why not? After the 20-minute timer was up, I decided to put it back in for another few minutes just to get that crust a little darker. If you want to eat it how it is in the video, you're totally welcome to do that as well. After the additional 5-minute cooking time, it was time to take it out and cut it up. In spite of my lackluster pizza cutting skills, this pizza still came out looking absolutely fantastic. Alrighty, we're going to try our Japanese Tonkatsu Curry Pizza. So let's go ahead and give this a go here. Oh, that is fantastic. Let's get this bit of tonkatsu. Yep. Oh, that is wonderful. Maybe we should have waited for it to cool down a little bit, but other than that, fantastic. So if you enjoyed that and you want to make your own, if you have any suggestions or anything like that, feel free to leave them in the comments and then like and comment, subscribe, and do all of that. And we will see you next time.